Article 15. The True Kingdom of Heaven on Earth. This is the Christ speaking, January 2006. The True Kingdom of Heaven on Earth. I would that you could see and experience the world as it really could be for you. The living world, the entire creation ringing with joy. Your world has been created by love, designed by love, to meet the personal needs of every single living entity as it has evolved over millions of years of existence. If only you could become aware of this glorious joy and glowing love as you walk in your garden or countryside. If only you could enter into the consciousness of a magnificent tree as it stands straight and tall, spreading its branches for the birds to alight upon it and to make their nest. If only you could enter into the consciousness of a bird as it finds the best nesting place, experience its pleasure and feel its love for the tree which provides a home and shade. Everywhere there is reciprocity of love flowing between living things, plants, insects, birds, animals, fish, and their environment. Only the predators put themselves outside this love consciousness. Study the eyes of the predators one and all, and compare their fierce intensity with the eyes of a non-violent herb and grass eaters. There you will see the ferocity of the one and the tranquility of the other. As I said when I lived on earth, the eyes are the lamp of the soul, and what you have not realized is that all eyes radiate to the world the inequality of being. They radiate the inner consciousness which blesses what it sees, or shrivels it up with its own bad temper. When you live entirely in your human consciousness, your thoughts, habitual modes of speech, your continual assessment of people and externals, you are unable to partake in this joy of existence, which spontaneously wells up in the consciousness of all non-violent living things, felt by all peaceful living things, unless denied sustenance by drought. You cannot feel it because your minds have developed along the lines of logic and reason, and you act according to your will, imagination, desires, and ego. And all of this mental activity blocks your spiritual mind at the top of your head. It prevents sixth sense contact with the beautiful world in which you live and which you do not remotely understand at all. You can see the bodies and the activities of insects, birds, and animals, but you cannot enter into the consciousness of their mostly innocent, uncontaminated, vitalizing life force. You may think their consciousness is possibly like yours, but you would be wrong, because all living things other than humans live by intuition, and communicate in a way which is impossible to humans. Yes, they communicate very clearly, over long distances. Yes, they communicate and rejoice together, more than you'll ever know. It is the hermit who sits with his begging bowl and meditates, who may soar into infinity and experience the joys and the glory of divine consciousness in which we, you and I, all live and draw our eternal life and being. The hermit can experience it in the silence and stillness of his mind, and can be uplifted into such ecstasy that he has no need of worldly living. Indeed, he runs away from it. People will say, "How wonderful! He has given up his life for God." But this is an erroneous perception. He gives up normal daily living to find the true life of glory out of which all creation has taken its form and being. There can be no greater experience of a glowing radiance and spiritual ecstasy than this. But it is escapism, offering great rewards and also defeating the purposes of existence in your world. It is marvelous and wonderfully uplifting to rest in the effulgence of absolute love and tranquility for a while, and possess knowledge of this wonderful dimension of eternity for yourself. Here your mind may enter into the transcendent facets of universal knowledge. Your human life takes on new luster, light, and joy and greater meaning but it is not your true purpose in life. Your true purpose in life is to express, in thoughts, words, deeds, and desire, the divinity in which you have your being. You can do this through meditation, through cleansing your mind of negative thoughts, by reaching out to others during the day to offer them a smile of friendliness, recognition of their being, that they too are alive and are therefore important, coexistent with yourself, no matter what their status is in life. What a tremendous joy it is to be able to love the man who has come down to rags, possessing nothing of material things, forced to live by begging, just as much as you may be able to love the man who has made untold wealth, prestige, and lives a life envied by others. This ability to love each and everyone without reservation is indeed divine love, pure, unconditional love. It is a quality of mind and heart where all sense of superiority or inferiority no longer exists. Why should this bring one so much joy, you may ask? It gives you joy beyond all imagining because you have risen high above the demands and critical senses of the self, which judge and demean others. What tremendous liberation of spirit you will experience when you can, at last, be insulted or defrauded by another, but can still look through his words and actions and perceive his basic divinity. You now rest in a state of pure, tranquil acceptance of what the human world may try to do to you, and you never cease smiling, because yours is a world of sunshine and spiritual light created by the divine. And you are aware that those who try to hurt you have not yet managed to find this sacred world conceived and fashioned by pure love. Knowing this so surely, so clearly, how can you not have only the deepest compassion and concern for them as they struggle, sometimes bravely, with their enmeshing ego? As you learn to love all states of human being equally, you will come to intuit the actual state of earthly being of each person, and will be able to perceive for yourselves what is valuable in life and what is mere ego frosting for comfort and prestige. You will no longer be led astray or even moved by outward show. If you study letters 5 and 6, you will be able to see clearly exactly why I say the world is made by love, in love, and sustained by love. When you fully understand why this is so, it is possible that you will go further in realization and will see that to entertain any thoughts contrary to love shuts you out of the basic reality of existence. It places you in a shadowy world where you can no longer see the world created by divine consciousness after the Big Bang. You can only see the images of that living world and cannot feel their joy. Dwell for a moment on your world as it is today, the average mentality of men and women governed by ego, and then think of the joy and beauty of what really is, just beyond your normal vision, out of sight because of human thought and human behavior. All of my letters are directed only at helping you lift yourselves out of any present misery you may be enduring, and to make genuine contact with divine consciousness, which will immediately set about rebuilding your health, strength, and inner direction toward higher goals of existence. You can come out of your hell, but only you can do it for yourself. You must do the work initially, but you can invite divine consciousness to enter your mind and heart and give you added strength to ensure you succeed. As more and more people of like spirituality and spiritual perception bond together to seek the kingdom of heaven on earth, so will there be little pockets of spiritual luminescence lighting up the dark world of yours, inviting more and more of its members to join you in your happiness. How do you cleanse your consciousness? Remember that if you only rely on your own human consciousness, you are calling up your ego to drive away your ego thoughts, and this is impossible. Ego cannot overcome ego. You have to wake up to the realization that above the human consciousness is the superconsciousness of divine consciousness, described in letters 5, 6, 7, and 8. In letter 6, pages 21 through 24. You will never be able to enter into the consciousness of plant and insect life because yours is a world of logical thought. But you can enter into heaven on earth by learning how to get in touch with divine consciousness and inviting it to fill your mind and heart, giving new direction to your thought life, and then to your future life and activities as well. I long for you to find true freedom from the ego and enter into the transcendent joy of divinity while still on earth.